It's a recreation meeting, 11/14/2024. We do have Beth Christensen via Zoom. And then we have Terry Radley and Meg. Normally would approve minutes now, but we don't have any from last meeting. So I'm just going to move right into the boring things. We have to pay some bills. We have bills from the general fund, which I was told I need to specify this when we're voting. The first bill is to be paid to Diamond Athletics. It's a local guy from town. He has provided slice seeding and aeration of all 10 acres of South Commons. He actually donated the aeration, which is awesome. So the bill is for $9,750. So I'll have you guys sign that one. And I have a copy of it. Oh, they're actually both on this one. Okay, so I guess I'll talk about the second one too. The second bill is McHugh Junk Removal, who we pay monthly. It's $291.66. When I was writing this up, I realized that I probably need to call them and tell them that they can take the barrels at the end of this month. I think that was the plan when we signed on with them. We won't have them from November to March, but I don't know. There's no baseball or anything anymore, right? Okay. So I'll reach out to them and see what their plan is, because they're all down there. And I think they're still pickleballing, but maybe they could just leave too or something. I don't know.
It's kind of cold now for pickleball, isn't it?
Well, there's been people down there in the afternoon. Although this week I feel like it's been so much colder.
Yeah.
So yeah, that might stop. So the total to be paid is $10,041.66 for both of those. So you'll be able to see. I think I can sign this one. And then you guys will sign below. And here's copies if you want to take a peek. While you guys are signing, the third bill is not really a bill. It's just I have to do a bill schedule for it, I guess. It's from the revolving fund, and this is for Fall Fest decorations and the half-day program supplies. But it was ordered through the town through Amazon, so I'm not presenting a receipt or anything, but we just need to officially sign and say that we paid it, I guess. There you go. No, it's not really any exciting stuff to talk about.
Alicia, what was that again? What you just said? Somebody presented it to us or something? It was from Amazon. What was that again?
Oh, so we found out a few months ago that Amy in the accounting office can order stuff for us through Amazon rather than having to go through the whole reimbursement process, which is awesome.
Nice.
So Julie actually just kind of like copy and pasted a bunch of stuff that we were ordering, sent it to her, and she ordered right through Amazon, which eliminates, the tax issue that we have and having to wait to get reimbursed. So it's great.
That's awesome.
But I still have to do the bill schedule that we sign for it, I guess. So
Okay,
they
that's
can
awesome.
keep track.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, so deposits, there's been 2 deposits since our last meeting. 11/7 was a deposit of $1,164. I kind of laid it out here for you guys to see. It includes the Friday night basketball league that plays at BMS, fitness classes, some fundraising sweatshirt money, pickleball donation of $405, which I thought was awesome. And then Fall Fest money, so cornhole registration and donations, which is $303. And then the second deposit was just 2 days ago of $625 into our revolving fund. And that was all for the October half-day program, which I think, Meg, you're familiar with it. But we're providing coverage basically from when the kids get out at 11:45 until they go on to after-school care at 3. And it actually was awesome. I'm a little scared of the one in December, because I'll be running it, but it'll go good. We're just going to open the registration next week, I think, and people only have like 5 days to sign up, so hopefully we get a good amount, but not a million kids. We'll see.
How many did you have last time,
There were 34.
Was it manageable?
Yeah, it was good. There were a lot of young kids, so it was, we have to have a higher ratio of counselors. So I want to get it out, lock it in, and then have like at least a week and a half to really get counselors and be sure I'll have enough counselors.
Yeah.
Because I feel like December people will be more apt to maybe utilize it because they're working and shopping and all that stuff. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the fact that Julie's not here. And I just wrote a little thing. As many community members already know, unfortunately, Julie Lee has resigned from the Berlin Recreation Committee. Julie has served our community in countless ways, recreation being one of them, and she's going to be dearly missed. I would like to take a moment to publicly thank Julie for her time, energy, and guidance during her tenure on the committee. I'm not sure how we will do it without you, but we wish you all the best and truly appreciate all that you have given to the town as a member of the Recreation Committee. So, I kind of need one of you two to take over from here.
Can I make a motion to appoint Felicia Lowe as chairman of the Berlin Recreation Committee?
So moved.
Beth, did you hear that?
Most of it.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're good to go.
Oh God, no, I forget how I gotta do this. So
Discussion.
any discussion about it?
No.
Anybody else want to do it? Just kidding.
Now you can roll call.
So I guess we'll take a roll call. I'll have to abstain,
Okay.
but Meg,
In favor, yes, aye.
Terry,
Yes, aye.
Beth,
I,
wonderful. Okay. Not sure how I feel about that, but this is great.
Great.
Okay, all right. So, the next thing is, I guess, I really have no idea what we're going to do for holiday event this year. Normally, I've talked with the woman at the church, and we have like some type of plan in Christmas in Berlin, but obviously we can't use the church. So, I was trying to think if you guys have any ideas of just something, because obviously now it's the middle of November. I mean, I feel like we could do like a Santa, something small for like the little kids maybe, just to kind of do something. Because I feel like the past couple of years it's been like a big to-do when they do the tree lighting. But now I just don't know if they'll be able to, I don't think they'll do Christmas in Berlin.
Yeah, with the,
And I was thinking, I was
Church
like, we could do it somewhere else, like at South Commons, but nobody can even drive down there, like to see anything.
It's
You know what I
dark.
mean?
yeah.
I think that the Lions Club will still put the trees up, but I don't know if, like, I don't think they'll have people near the church. Like, they won't chance doing that. So I was thinking we have an awesome Santa that he said he was going to kind of block off when Christmas in Berlin normally is. I haven't reached out to him, but I will, just to see when he's available, because we could just do something like a Saturday morning or Sunday morning and just have, 9 to 11, like have the kids come get pictures with Santa and have like a craft or something like that.
Like coffee and donuts or something.
Yeah, like something simple just to kind of,
Would they do it at the, like where we work out?
I was thinking 1870.
Yeah.
I would have to check with, I don't know if Sandra's still in charge of it, but I can find that out. I'll check and see if there's availability, like even just like I said, like a 2-hour time
Yeah.
slot would be perfect.
There was
Unless
this
you
other
guys have
guy
another-
too that came for the library, and he did a little show at the same place.
Yeah.
And he does all music stuff. I can't remember what his name is, but I'm sure the library.
know-
would
I know
have him.
exactly who
He was
you're-
an older guy, and he has like suitcases like filled with tambourines and bells.
know
and
exactly
it
what
was
you're
like,
talking
yeah,
about.
it was, and he had these huge drums, and it was like amazing, like all these,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if I mean.
I could ask.
That could be something too, that like if Santa was in the beginning and then that could close it out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I think he was only there for an hour the time that we went.
I know
and it
this
was
guy's name is going to
more
drive me
than
crazy.
Yeah,
so I can't
yeah.
think of it.
Someone just had him for their kid's birthday party like the other day, so I know who I can
Oh, really?
ask.
Okay. All right.
For his
That's a great
name, but-
idea. So maybe do like a little combination of.
Yeah,
A
because
little
I'm
more
sure that
entertainment,
guy
'cause I
would
feel like
do
Santa can be a
Christmas
little boring.
songs and stuff like that. Like I'm sure he would do. He had his own, like he had stuff for the kids to do, but then he could play all kinds of instruments too. So
Okay.
he had like
Yeah.
a flute and a guitar and yeah. I
All right.
mean,
So maybe I'll ask. I can reach out to Hadley at the library to get the name of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Okay. I was also kind of throwing around the idea of like a Christmas movie night. I know Mr. Campbell is always willing to have us in the gym. My only concern is that there is so much basketball.
Yeah.
Like, I would really have to talk to Julie and see
I forgot about
if
that.
there's any night
Yeah.
that there's not.
And
Or
then-
maybe one that they could schedule at a different time if we reserved the night. But I don't know, I thought that would be a good,
Mm-hmm.
What
Or-
about
or we
could
between
do
7
8
and
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
was gonna say, was it good in the gym last time? Because then someone was saying when it had to get moved into the gym, then a lot of kids were just running around like in the dark.
it was
So if
very
it was at
chaotic.
1870, it might be easier to
Corral them.
control.
That's a
the-
good call.
Yeah, do you think that would be better?
All right, that's a good idea. All right. I'm pretty sure for 1870, we don't get charged because we're a town committee.
Right.
So if we reserved, but I don't know how that works, like if we reserved it and then someone else wanted to rent it, I
Yeah.
would hope that they would still give it to us.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Right, I don't know. Yeah, you'd have to talk to,
Yeah, that's probably, I feel like the kids feel like they just they run amok at the school.
Yeah, yeah. Because then that
But
way,
it
at
is
least
bigger.
there won't be so much space for them
Yeah,
to, you know,
good
if they
call.
start
That's a
to
good
get,
call.
then you can be like, you know,
You guys gotta sit down.
okay, yeah, sit down, whatever it is.
And you might actually be able to hear the movie in a smaller space
Yeah,
than
yeah.
that. All right. Okay, so we'll work on those. And if I can lock in a Santa, I mean, I'll blast a flyer out as soon as I can.
Okay.
But I'll let you guys know, you know, a date or something if we can narrow it down. All right, next thing. You guys have any other suggestions for holiday stuff, or you think, you know, to get us through Christmas?
I know Link
That's
was,
good.
I was talking to Sima and Link, and she was saying some people wanted to do like a dance, but some people didn't want to do a dance. I don't know if that's just
Oh, like a
only something Link.
for the school.
Yeah.
I feel like they do normally do a dance. They haven't done one yet this
Yeah,
year, right?
no, they didn't,
Normally
because
they do
she
one in
was
the
saying
fall
it
and
was
then the
it was
spring.
chaotic. Like again, it was
It's always chaotic.
lights
They
off
just
and
run around
kids running
screaming.
around. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like her son, I think, was like, "Oh, can we do that thing where we all get together and they play music and we run around the gym?" And she was like, "Ah,
You mean the dance?
It's supposed to be a dance."
Oh my god,
but,
that's so funny.
but then I
That's
think
funny.
she thought maybe doing it in like January or February when there's kind of like a lull on.
Yeah, last year they
things
did like
to
a
do.
Valentine one.
Oh, okay,
I
That's
think.
a good idea.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
the
that's
kids
a good
dressed,
idea.
they were dressed up and it was more advertised like not a casual, more like a formal dance,
Yeah,
which was cute.
yeah.
The kids loved it.
Oh, that's great.
All right, so dance, and I can always reach out to her. She's super nice.
Yes.
Sima.
Yeah. And
Um,
Amanda too, I think, is the
Oh yeah, she's my client.
head of it or something. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, I mean, besides that, I feel like this time of year is fairly slow with stuff unless we want to try and do stuff. I mean, I always want to try and do something for like January. If it's cold, like it would be amazing if the pond would freeze, but I feel like the pond is like disappearing by the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
There's no water. But if it froze, we could do a skate party or something like that. That's it's kind of easy to. Maybe it'll freeze faster.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
now
right.
that there's no water.
Right. I know,
But just
that'd be
like
great.
ideas like that, I feel like until spring comes, there's really not. I mean, we could.
We're gonna do something to keep,
Yeah, we could try and do movie
Keep the
nights. We could
town
try and do. Yeah, I was trying to think of stuff that would appeal to the older
not a
crowd.
snowman contest. You know how we do like, scarecrow
Ooh, that's a good
contest?
Oh
idea.
yeah, that
That's
would
great.
be good.
What a snowman contest.
We need a lot of snow. That's a great idea, though.
Well, I know, but
If
what
we
about,
know we're
like,
gonna get a big, or if we get a
it
big
doesn't have
blizzard.
to be snow, you know? what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be kind of like a last minute thing too.
Oh, yeah.
John
Yeah.
John Campbell has been super helpful when I need to get something out, at least to the younger community. He'll blast it out for me in like the weekly email,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
even add an email during
Right.
the week, which is awesome. I do think someone reached out not that long ago via email to Rec about seeing if we can post in like the Powder House News, which
Oh, yes.
I don't think that goes. I think it's like quarterly, Beth, right?
Yeah, I think it's quarterly now.
Yeah, which that's. I feel like we don't plan that far in
That's
advance,
hard
but we
to-
could try.
Yeah, 'cause we wanna get stuff out. We're gonna have to do a new, sorry, everybody, but we have to do a new Facebook page.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Well, I think we could kind of almost eliminate that too, because once this software is implemented, it's really going to simplify any information getting out to the entire community. As long as they can log on to the internet, they'll be fine.
Okay.
'Cause
well,
it'll
that's
have
good, just
everything.
Because technically that's, I just threw it together and then it just kind of
Yeah.
went.
Yeah, sure.
So,
So there
I don't
is a
really want
Facebook
it.
page. There is an actual Berlin Rec Facebook page.
There is.
Already.
Yeah. But we can, I mean, Beth, you could probably just delete it and we could do another one.
well, I didn't want
if
to
you want.
delete it with everybody,
Yeah.
liking it and everything else.
Right.
So I figured we could just,
Can you, like-
Revamp
can you,
it
like,
a
add-
little bit. Yeah.
Can you, like,
you
add
can usually,
admins?
I think you can, yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah, I'm
add
not good at that,
administrators.
so-
No, me neither.
I'm not good at that. I tried and then I don't remember how I did it. So I wanted to possibly talk about getting a new one that should be better. Even if we just, because not everybody's, I'm not good at websites, going to people's, websites. So I
Meg's
like
going to be
the
good at
idea-
this.
Yeah, I can, I was gonna
Media
say, I
Meg.
can try
We
and
went
help
from
you.
Media
Yeah.
Mark to Media
Media
Meg.
Meg.
Yep.
So, so if you can create one with the Berlin Recreation email,
Okay.
and then what we'll do is we'll tell everybody to kind of, going forward, use this Facebook page instead. And then we can have the email attached. We can put, like if we get our own website or anything, whatever that's
Yeah,
going
just
to be.
link
Yeah,
it.
you can link it to that.
Yeah, good
You
call.
know what I mean? We can just link everything onto that, so that way everybody can just click on there.
Perfect.
Am I like dreaming?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
no,
great.
no,
That's
that's
great.
that's
That's a good idea.
possible. Yep. For sure.
Because I don't know how to do it. So
Yeah, no, yes.
I'm so bad at that stuff too.
Yeah, and then even and I'm not sure how, I mean, I guess if we have the Facebook, because you could also do an Instagram page too, because people are on Instagram
You can
just
do
as
that.
often
Do it
as,
too.
as Facebook.
I don't
so
even
if I
have
can
that.
do it easily without, yeah.
Facebook, Insta.
Okay.
whatever you wanna do. But just make sure that you do it with the. Don't do it like me. Do it with the recreation email.
Yeah, I have all that info, so we
Okay.
can work together and figure
Okay.
it out.
That way we can. When our time is done, we can share it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
if someone
yeah.
needs to get in contact, it'll go directly to
Right.
that,
Exactly.
that email or that somehow contact.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to give a CPA project update if you think we're good with holiday stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm supposed to meet with Kristen and Bob Holmes in the next week or so, hopefully, to go over the CPA projects and the ARPA projects that we have, which, as you know, we have the playground project, we have the pavilion project, and then we're not in charge of the field redo, but I know soccer wants to work hand in hand with us to get it done. So Bob Holmes, I don't know if either of you know him. He was on the committee before, and he was a huge helper with the pickleball courts. He basically wrote, the RFP and got it out to the contractors and kind of managed the whole project, which was awesome. He's really good at that stuff. So I'm hoping once we meet with Kristen, she can kind of lay out what steps we need to take next. The only kind of wrench in that is prior to Julie leaving, we had discussed the master plan situation for the fields. So we still have the contact for the master plan, and we're still been in touch with the gentleman that is in charge of it, but he, it's kind of like whenever we're ready to do it, if we really want to do it. But we need, I think it's $23,000. So that was going to potentially be another thing that was presented to CPA, which their deadline was like a week ago, I think, but it's still being brought up in their meeting on Tuesday. So I think on Tuesday, I'll know a little bit more. They're either going to be like, absolutely
Like,
not,
right,
you missed
where
the
they
deadline,
stand, yeah.
or yes, let's get the info, fill out the application, because it's a whole process. And then it basically would kind of go to town meeting if they recommended it. So that would take some time, but I don't think that would hold up the playground, because regardless, like what we have quoted.
All that has already been,
Yeah, what we have quoted is based on that footprint. I mean, as much as maybe they may say this is a terrible place for a playground, like it will cost us so much more money to try and put it somewhere else. And I don't want to have to ask for more money on top of that. I think the master plan is awesome for, I don't know, like stuff that we don't think about. Like parking and maybe putting a baseball field in a different place, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it will be great for like down the road, and when we know that like, oh, there's going to be a well here, so maybe we could do a splash pad here or something like that.
yeah.
But I really don't want to hold up those projects waiting on the town meeting. But I mean, that's something we can obviously talk about and vote on or whatever. But I feel like the soccer group is like chomping at the bit and have been patient with us with this whole master plan idea. And I really, like, if it can happen, like, I think if CPA recommends it, then I would be like, okay, let's maybe think about this a little bit, because if we get the money, it's totally worth it. And it's like a 12-week turnaround time, so it's not a super long time. And if they weren't going to do the field project until, I think the plan was summer, like the end of this summer coming, and then put everything down in the fall, seed everything in the fall so that stuff would be good for like the spring.
Yep.
I think that was their plan, and I think it would still meet that timeline if it gets approved, because I don't think people at town meeting would shut it down, being only $23,000. But I guess that's something we kind of have to keep in mind. But I want, like, if we can move forward with the pavilion and the playground, that will be huge. Because I've talked to the playground guy a million times, and it's literally just a matter of, I think Kristen needs to kind of write up whatever's necessary, and then it has to go out to bid, which is unfortunate, but that'll be like a 30-day process of getting different bids. But from what we talked about, like with the pickleball courts, like we can be very specific. Like, I don't think there's a lot of playground companies around here that would just be like, oh, I'll bid this or I'll bid that and want to get the project. I think it will be pretty fair across the board. And I'm really hoping that the gentleman that we've been working with will be the lowest bidder, because he's awesome. So,
yeah, and the next town meeting is
May.
December.
no, it won't be on that
Oh,
one.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's nothing can be added to that
Okay,
now,
that's like a
unfortunately.
okay,
yeah, there was like
I
a cutoff
understand
that was
now.
like
Yeah,
a month
yeah.
ago or something. So like what they were discussing in Coffee Talk tonight is what is on the warrant for that meeting.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it would be like a May thing. But, I mean, I do think it would be worth it. I mean, even if we waited till like next year, but I think with the fields, that's the biggest thing, is they want to know where to put the irrigation, where to put the, this box and that box, and where to put the wells and all that stuff. That's the smartest, because I think to a point they have an idea, but otherwise. All right, so I think that's all for those. I kind of skipped to 8. I was talking about the playground too. Actually, with the playground one, so the playground is ARPA funds, which the town got these funds, and they're supposed to be allocated and under contract by like the end of this year. But the project itself doesn't have to be completed, I think, until the end of 2026 or something. So like, but it's supposed to be locked in under contract, which obviously it's not going to be, unless Kristen magically puts this out like tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I guess there's something that she can present to the town as a request, like an extension. I can't remember the correct terminology, so I'm not going to try and make it up. But she seemed reassuring that it will be fine, and as long as we let them know it's in the process, it'll be okay. But I'm going to confirm that with her when I meet with her too.
And how much is that money-wise?
I believe the total is $180,000.
That's great.
Yeah. The hard thing, and I think what's kind of delayed it a little bit, is that we had one company, they quoted us, but it didn't include everything that we needed, like disposal and the rubber ground to make it more ADA accessible. So we went back to the other company and they gave us a couple different designs. One that goes all the rubber, it goes under the entire like big structure, and then it goes to the swings, and then it goes to like the little kid structure. So it's a lot of, and that is the most expensive thing. The entire
Yeah.
quote, it's like $40,000 just
That
for this
rubber, yeah.
ground. And then the rest would be like the wood mulch.
Yeah.
And the guy actually recommended that. He's like, that's better. The kids won't try and eat it necessarily.
Right,
like I
right.
feel like if you put like the rubber mulch, the kids are like, oh, what's this? You know?
Yeah.
But I think,
It's easy to like replenish and
and I like financial.
up with
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's only, I think we've always budgeted so much money for wood chips and stuff, but it's really low maintenance, I think.
And is this a good amount of money? Will it cover?
So
Or you
it's
didn't go
cover, the first design we got, it was the lesser of the two. And that it's like just under that.
Okay.
But when we met with Kristen a couple times ago, she was saying like, we should really try and make it as accessible as we can, because that was like one of the selling points to the town, is we want to make it so, you know, everybody can use it. And I think only having like a little path to
Right,
it's-
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it gets you there, but
Right,
you know,
it's
then people
not-
are tripping over it, and like
And
it's
the
better
mulch
if the
gets
whole
kicked up
thing
on it
exactly,
easier and-
exactly.
yep, yep.
So I think if we can figure out a way to either get rid of a couple other things or move things around, I don't know. The guy's been wonderful, and they have sales like every season. So the equipment that we were looking at, and I looked at, I'm not even kidding you, 700 pieces of equipment. It wasn't on sale, but he gave us a discount to a certain degree. But he said if I lock this in like by the end of the year, it could be a further discount, which I don't know if that can happen where we're at now. But you know, that would substantially decrease it and probably get us under that number, even with the bigger amount of rubber. But he also said, like, if we can't get this done by the end of the year, then there'll be a new, you know, winter sale come February, and maybe we'll luck out and we could switch the equipment around, or there'll be something similar. So, I mean, I think there's options, but it's just a matter of how quick we can do it. I mean, Julie and I looked at so many. It's mainly like the big structure, like picking that big
Yeah,
structure.
yeah.
And like, I'll share it with you. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I think she shared it with me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like trying to save money and looking at smaller ones, it's like, okay, now we need to add monkey bars and we need to add this to make it comparable, and it just, everything adds up. It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. I
So-
bet.
I do need to reach back out to the guy, because I've been like not ignoring him, but because I didn't know what was happening with everything, I was like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to figure it out by myself. So, yeah, hopefully I'll know more about that stuff next week when we meet with Kristen. All right, I guess number 7, the half-day program. So I'm still doing it.
What's the date for that?
December 4th.
Okay. Because
So-
I can try to make myself available too.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
As long as I have the date, but
Yeah.
now I do. So.
So I actually, I've had to kind of take over the onboarding of the counselors. And 2 girls had applied, they sent their stuff in, and it's been sent, and I believe they are sending the offer. So we need to make a motion, or can I make a motion to approve the half-day counselor hires? Oh God, I don't even know if I can say their names. Ugh. I think I can. Julie did last time, right?
You could probably use
I
this
don't-
first.
Okay. Alina and Molly.
So moved.
Okay, great.
Second.
Beth, are you still there? Oh, she must be gone. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in and out.
Okay, all right, great.
I'm here now. I was just gonna I want to tell you, if you want my attention to kind of yell at me and see if I'm here, because I've been back in other way.
Okay, we're just approving the, a couple kids for counselors for this half-day program.
Mhm.
I think I'm good with the 3 of us, but I just want to make sure you heard it. So, I guess, what do I say now? Roll call?
Mhm.
Okay. Meg?
Aye.
Terry?
Aye.
Beth?
Aye.
And myself? Aye, wonderful, okay.
So moved.
And my dog said aye. Did you hear?
Okay, so now I believe Dee will submit this to the select board for their final approval. So hopefully that can all be done before December 4th, because now I think that'll give me 7 options. I'm hoping when I send an email to all of them tomorrow that at least, 5 of them can commit. Although I will say the junior counselors that have come have been amazing.
Okay.
Like, they've been so good. I feel like they're easier to get, but.
And what's the age range for a junior counselor?
So I think it's like 12 to 15.
Oh, okay. And then above is just...
Yeah, yep. So I think when they're 16 and up, that's when they can get paid with their work permit and all that stuff. It's a lot of paperwork, but.
So the junior ones are in training.
Exactly. But they can put it on like their little National Honor
yeah.
Society stuff, and they're so great because I feel like they like doing stuff too. Like
Yeah.
they're still so young, so
Right.
they
They're
enjoy
still
it.
into it.
Yeah. All right. So. Okay, so I threw this in here because I knew there'd be last minute stuff that I could not think of. So the biggest thing that has been brought to my attention this week is the fact that nobody's been put into this part-time rec director position. And my understanding is after the interviews and all of the process that's happened in the past couple weeks that they really want us and then I guess the select board and the town administrator to reevaluate the job description and really not dumb it down, but kind of prioritize what this 10-hour position is actually going to do or what we're going to expect them to do. So I printed the job description for you to look at home. You don't have to do it now, obviously, but if we could get some feedback on like what you guys think is the most important stuff to kind of take off of our plate, that would be awesome. And then we can talk with Kristen and the select board, and it'll have to go back to personnel, and they'll have to do the whole process all over again. But my point of view, after everything that's happened, is that I feel like, one, the title of the job should not be the title of the job. I think that this is more of an administrative job, mainly because that's what I would want taken off of my plate. And I think it's really time consuming, and it would allow us as a committee to focus more on actually doing stuff that we want to do. So obviously someone's going to need help, but I feel like making deposits, bill schedules, communicating with the vendors, and getting the contracts for each year and making sure it's sent to Kristen and all that stuff, and meeting like deadlines is important. I think this person will have to have some type of accounting background, something, or administrative role background. The other big thing is I haven't even touched this whole rec software situation yet. I have to reach out to Kathy, the treasurer. I think everything is ready to rock. It's just really like implementing it, which I will get training on it. I mean, all of us could get training on it. I think the kid Colin that has been running it and explaining it to Kathy is willing to explain to everybody, to walk us through how to set it up, how to do the reports at the end of the month and all that stuff. So, but I think this person would be like the go-to for this software, because that's going to be like our, I don't know, like home base for everything. So I think that's going to be really important. I think there's a lot of stuff in the job description that, like, unfortunately, the original job description is based on what I think we thought this role would become, like in everything that the chair has been doing in the past. And putting it out on paper, it's like, holy crap, it's way more than 10 hours. We get it. But I also think that we didn't want to miss, like, with the hopes of this position growing and maybe being 20 hours next year and 30 hours the following year, like, we still want these to be the expectations of the person that is taking on the role. But I feel like maybe now the town is like, well, we can't advertise it like that because it's only 10 hours and you can't get all this stuff done in 10 hours. So I think maybe the language in here for certain things can be changed. I mean, I think like,
Yeah, you can try and combine a couple things.
yeah,
that, you know.
I think there is just so much stuff. And honestly, I want to reach out to the town of Boylston because they hired their part-time, I think she's still technically part-time. I could be wrong. But they hired her a few years ago, and it started, I think they advertised it as a 20-hour position to start. And I want to see like what her requirements were, because I think she does so much, and she's not like hands-on like I am to go do the events, but she gets everything out there online, all the registrations. So when Boylston Recreation meets, they don't have to, like, she'll just be like, here's the bills, sign them. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to go through everything. And I think that would be super helpful.
Yeah.
And then just like communicating with that person closely. It's not like they're not the rec director. Like, that's when I read that now, I'm like, oh my God, why do we call it that with a 10-hour job? Like, if this were a 40-hour job, yeah, like, you're directing this whole department. But I feel like at 10 hours, it's not that.
It's more handling the administrative portion of the.
Exactly. Like,
Committee.
I feel like administrative, I don't know, assistant for the recreation committee. I don't know.
Yeah. Felicia, can you send that to me, please? I don't think I have it.
Yes, I don't know why. I was trying to forward it to you via my phone, and it would not download for some
Here.
reason. So yes, I will.
All right.
Got it.
Yeah, if you could, please.
Yep.
Thank you.
What else? I don't know. I feel like we kind of just need to pick this apart. And they told me I don't need to have a decision today, or maybe just take the weekend and really look through it and think about what we do or don't need to include. And maybe I can add that to my meeting with Kristen next week.
These 2 star things you have sum it up pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just sure it needs to be more specific.
You don't want to make it too specific.
I know. That's true.
Because then you lock people
Yeah, you
in.
need the room to grow.
But I feel like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the title was probably really deceiving to the applicants this first time.
So were you getting applicants and they were disappointed in when they found out all this can't be done in 10 hours, or were you not getting applicants at all?
No, there were applicants. I mean, I don't know how many they actually got initially. We interviewed 3.
Okay.
But I don't know what I think the process is, like, they come in, they look at the qualifications or the resume and kind of narrow it down, and then present a couple to us. But
Well, that's good that there was interest.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's looking for a little part-time side gig, right?
Right.
But I mean, I hope that this will turn into something bigger. And I would hate to, get someone for 10 hours and then, next year be like, oh, now we need you to be certified in accounting,
Right.
and have to hire a
Right.
different person. So I don't want to, like,
Right, like what are the
eliminate too
core,
much stuff.
like what are the foundation things
Yeah,
that you
like,
really need,
you
and
need a
then
little
the other
background.
stuff you can
right.
Yeah.
try to grow on as
Well,
you
we
have
could
more
always
hours.
do it as like an admin assistant, and then hopefully when the time comes to go further with it, we can talk to that person to see if they're able to go further and
Right.
make them aware that we need to hire an admin.
Right.
And then they can still remain the assistant. You know what I mean? We can
Right.
maybe work it that way.
Yeah, in a perfect world, we'll be full-time in like 2 years, and that person will have an assistant. That's my goal. I'm really stretching there, but I mean, that would be awesome. I feel like all, like, council on aging, everything is growing, and I mean, if they have a full-time or almost full-time person, there hopefully will be one in our department eventually. So I guess we'll go over this. One other thing, we did this I don't know if we did it last month or the month before for Julie, to make a motion for the chair to approve any and all applications and other details in the absence of a rec meeting. Meaning like for the counselors, I guess.
I thought we did that.
We did it, but for Julie.
Oh, right.
So, if we could, I guess, do it again. I think that would be helpful, just because then I can kind of submit. I mean, I don't know how many more counselors I'm going to need, but like even for the summer and stuff, I think that would be helpful, just to like move the process along, because it is not easy. These kids are getting like a 38-page packet. It's insane. Like, I can't even imagine what they think when they get it. Like, they're signing their life away. It's like a college application.
Yeah, right.
So, I guess if we can get that, I can just kind of move things along.
Okay.
So move.
Oh, wonderful.
Second.
Does that work?
Yeah, I think I did it right.
Yep.
Okay, so roll call. Meg,
Aye.
Terry,
Aye.
Beth,
Aye.
and I have to abstain from that. So, okay, awesome. All right, I mean, it was a really boring meeting, but is there anything else that you guys, that we didn't, or you want to elaborate on that we talked about before we go?
No, I'll get the email from you for
Yes.
the Facebook and stuff.
Yep.
And then I can try
And I'll
to get
confirm that
started on
I give you the right one. I need to make sure that I give the right one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll go on to the one that we have already and let everybody know so they can move to the new one whenever it's all
Yeah,
set.
yeah, that'll be great.
You know, and that way it'll be Berlin Rec's actual Facebook,
Perfect.
not the one I forced on everybody.
I feel like I have two of them, actually. When I type
There
in
probably
Berlin,
is.
when I type in Berlin Rec, I feel like there's two. And every time I went to post something, I'm like, why are there no posts? Like, what is going on? But I think it was the wrong one.
That's funny.
All right, do I have to like roll call for adjourning?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I think we're done. So we're going to adjourn the meeting. If
Oh,
every-
no, we don't have to do a roll call. I think we just have to mention that we're adjourning the meeting.
That's it? Yeah.
I think so.
7:58.
All right, at 7:58. That's the fastest meeting ever.